This is 5-year-old Nicholas Chavone. He's cute, but a pistol. What? But looking at that angelic face, it's hard to imagine that this is that same kid at home. A kid who throws monster tantrums and has been getting into frequent fistfights on the school bus as well. His dad is 29-year-old Nick, a single father of 2 who works as a telemarketer.
Give me another one.
Nick says he has a good relationship with his own father now, but when he was growing up, things were quite different.
When I was younger, he was kind of abusive. Spanking, punching, throwing me across the room. I didn't want to do that with my children because I know that the effect that it put on me as a human being, I don't want that to happen to my children.
Nick says his own experience growing up makes him more attentive to his kids.
My dad never held me as a little kid and hugged me and kissed me and things like that. I do that for my kids. I know, that's what's going to make them better people.
But as loving as Nick tries to be, there are moments when his temper gets the best of him.
If you touch my stuff again, I'm going to seriously pound you.
He says sometimes he'd have explosive arguments with his son.
I can do whatever I want.
And he didn't like it.
What did I tell you? Sometimes I'll just go crazy in my head and just snap off and start yelling and stuff. If you ever do that again, I will slap the crap out of you. Do you got that?
Don't say it on the camera.
I don't care about the camera. You don't throw crap at my face.
Unlike Cora, who talks a big game about what she'll do to the kids, Nick takes the next step and gets physical with his son.
Pay attention to what you're doing.
Surprisingly, Nick says spanking was actually suggested to him by, of all people, a social services caseworker. The Department of Children and Families.
Yeah, the lady told me I'd take him over my knee and spank him every once in a while. They're like, it's not against the law to spank your child with an open hand.
It may not be illegal, but as you've seen, Nick's son is petrified. And because of his own past, Nick is desperate not to use hitting as his ultimate weapon.
When I was a little kid, I feared my dad, and I don't want my son to fear me.
So Nick has started restraining his son when he throws a tantrum, hoping that will make him calm down. But instead, Nicholas just fights back, and it becomes even more of a struggle.
One more time, I'm gonna spank you.
So why doesn't this work? We asked several parenting experts to analyze our tapes.
Holding a child like that and trying to show strength during punishment will lead to aggression. It
Why
leads
not?
to flailing. And it leads to more upset, which has nothing to do with suppressing the behavior you
You're
do want.
escalating it.
Dr. Alan Kasdan heads up the Yale University Parenting Center. He's written several books on parenting a defiant child.
You don't touch, you don't drag, you don't pull, you don't have physical contact.
People tend to parent the way they were parented themselves.
Karen Askew is director of the National Exchange Club Foundation, which runs the child abuse prevention program in which Nick and Cora are enrolled. And Linda Riggs heads up one of the regional centers overseeing the Parent Aid program in upstate New York.
What is the child learning from that? Are they learning to change the behavior?
This is not going to change the child.
Now, it may seem counterintuitive, but our experts say the message this sends isn't to stop or calm down, it's to fight back. This is a battle of force. That's all this is about.
Right.
I don't feel any differently about what I did. I just want to beat him at this right now.
Yeah, I can see it right there. I mean, I was holding him, he was kicking me in my head, and it makes sense.
Kasdan says this isn't just feel-good theory dispensed from behind a desk. He says the research is clear-cut.
The side effects of punishment are so well studied, and if a parent knew them, they would be frightened of using punishment. One of them is you get to dislike the punishing agent.
Those findings hit home for Nick.
My son, he hurts me really bad when he tells me that he hates me and he wants to go live with his mommy. And I used to do it to my dad too, and now I know how it can hurt. Back then I didn't know how that would make a parent feel.
So if spanking or restraining a child makes a child fight back, what about threats?
I'm gonna hit you hard. And I don't wanna do that, but I am.
Cora, our grandmother raising 3 kids, is using the threat of physical punishment whenever she can't cope.
If you hit me, Tim, you're dead guy. If you ever hit me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna get my ass on camera knocking your damn head off. If you say go into timeout, so no, I'm not going into timeout. They don't do timeout.
Jean, her parent aide, has suggested several ways to discipline without threatening harm. But Cora doesn't believe any of it will work.
You wanna take him time in a knot and throw him in the corner, but you can't do that.
What can we do about it?
I tell you what I'll do. They catch me beating the hell out of them. Yes, they will. I've never hit one of them with this, but this is my threat right here. I also got a fly swatter right there.
Cora thinks the mere threat of violence should keep the kids in line.
No.
But according to Jean, the kids know Cora won't follow through.
If you call me another lie, I'd knock it from this damn table. You don't think so? Bust you in your damn face with that damn thing right here.
Little Tim goads her on, knowing Cora's threats are empty.
I think she's just said so many things to them, and they know that's a joke.
We're gonna kill you.
Do it then.
I'm gonna hit you.
And we notice something else. Often, just moments after Cora has said something negative to Tim, almost immediately, he turns to another child and starts swinging.
You're so girlish.
Man, stop!
Don't hit her. Please don't hit her. Don't hit her.
If you want this child to comply and show respect, you don't start screaming and shouting and making threats. That will only make it worse.
You're one of the hard-headed ass in the world. Get out of here.
In fact, a recent study found that 1 in 3 parents are unable to effectively discipline their kids, particularly those using yelling and verbal abuse.
Make me shout! Hell no!
Don't threaten your child unless you can carry that out.
What would have happened if she had grabbed hold of one of them and given them a little fly swatter action? Do those threats now have a different meaning to the kids?
We know the behavior will be suppressed at that instant, and it won't change over time. And if she escalates to worse, and she makes stronger threats and more hits, it doesn't work.
Kick at him. There you go. Do it again.
And that's
Come on.
exactly what happens when Cora takes things to the next level.
Come on, fight me. Knock my thing down. Do it. Hit it. Slap it down. Pick it up. Pick that up. Pick it up.
The rational person's going to say, I can't believe she's saying these things. I can't believe it. Doesn't make any sense. How can she love the kids and say these things?
She is fed up, she's tired, she's overwhelmed, and she needs some support.
What you gonna do about it?
Hit me, Tim. That's what you do. So I could break your ass in half.
Getting into basically a schoolyard game with this kid, I mean, it really regresses here.
Seen it 100 times, and it goes like this. When it's not working, escalate. So it's almost like she's saying, make my day. Hit me so I can go all the way. And it's frustration and just keeps escalating.
Escalating until the situation finally explodes.
Stop.
She said if I had had a brick, I would have thrown it at him.
Coming up, will Cora ever be able to break this cycle?
You're not gonna hit her no damn more. You get out of here. Crazy ass.
You.
Crazy ass.